Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel if you're sticking around. If not, just try to stick around really quick. Give me the benefit of the doubt. I'm pretty cool. I like to hang out with people. I feel like we'll be good friends. Today, first of all, we are sipping on an iced chocolate almond milkshake, an espresso drink, and my purple Starbucks lilac cup. And it is 6 shots of blonde espresso shots in here. I just inhaled that straight back to my uvula. Anywho, we're gonna be talking about 5 breakfast meals, 5 easy, quick breakfast ideas that you can make to help grow your glutes. Mind you, all up to preface, this is all included with 3 to 5 days of training, at least 3 of those for me being leg days, and that gets you the results that you saw in my thumbnail. I have grown my booty to so much, a big old onion booty. I'm so proud. Somebody the other day said, oh, my boyfriend doesn't call my booty a peach anymore, he calls it a pumpkin. I'm trying to be a pumpkin. So we're gonna go to the first meal, and another preface, these do look very intimidating because I am the most extra person you are ever going to meet. I pinky swear these are really easy to make. I've actually made each of these in 10 minutes or less, and one of them you'll actually see the picture I have is in a to-go Tupperware container. So I made it just really quick right before getting to work and get to the gym. So number 1, a hummus cucumber, I'm gonna sneeze, protein bagel. Nope, it ran away. Okay, a hummus cucumber protein bagel. I'm gonna list off the ingredients. These ingredients are, oh, hold on. Here's a picture. Here's another picture. Very proud of these bagels. It is a everything bagel. You can use a plain bagel if you'd like. Just, I don't recommend cinnamon raisin. And then we're gonna put olive oil, hummus, 2 to 3 boiled eggs. I do have a boiled egg cooker. It is this guy right here. It is so useful. Got it for my birthday from one of my best friends. A shout out to you, Sarah. Thank you again. Everything bagel, olive oil, hummus, 2 to 3 boiled eggs, cucumber as much as you'd like. This might sound a little weird to some people, but I promise the cucumber and the hummus just oh, so good. And then you add feta cheese and lemon. Now, you can add some Himalayan salt, some pink salt, whatever kind of salt you want to use to this bagel, but the hummus does already have some salt in it, so I'm not particularly watching out for my salt. I just felt like she was salty enough. I try not to have a very salty attitude. This coffee is bitter, but I try to be pretty sweet and not salty. The sneeze is back. Okay, she's gone again. I scared her away. This is actually a recipe that I, yes, have fallen in love with, but I have some warm, fuzzy memories with. I got the inspiration from a hummus toast from a juice bar I used to work at. I'm not gonna name the juice bar because some things happened at that juice bar that I couldn't really talk about as a now graduated human resource professional, but this bagel is super good, and you don't have to use fresh lemon juice. I do use fresh lemons, and 1 to 2 lemons will last me an entire week. I've actually got 2 going bad because I've only gone through 1 this week. But this is super easy, 1, to purchase. So the ingredients are, I guess for the whole list, these ingredients are easily purchasable, not very expensive. I know for a lot of people, avocados, they're like, oh, I can't afford to buy like 6 to 8 avocados a week to eat 2 in a day. That's a lot of avocados, hear me out. But a lot of people can't afford that, so that's why I use olive oil, because as I'll talk about later in the video as to like why I use these things, the olive oil is super high in monosaturated fats, or I guess it's just monounsaturated fats, and avocados, that's what people encourage you to get and eat because they have the monounsaturated fats. So that's kind of my cheaper substitute. You might want to buy a bigger bottle of olive oil, which might be a little more expensive in the initial grocery trip, but it'll last you a lot longer and for many more meals than 6 to 8 avocados would. Moving on to number 2, peanut butter and jelly bagel. This picture is not very pretty. Let me preface by this is a breakfast recipe, but it was consumed at like midnight. I was so hungry for one of these. I craved. Did I mention that most of these are going to be bagels? I really like bagels, and side note, attention's made of a goldfish. I've noticed that whenever I have a consistent carb for a breakfast or a lunch or something of the sort, I really like to buy that carb in bulk, or just buy that carb for the week and then find a bunch of different recipes with it. It helps me budget as a college student, and it's really important when it comes to making easy recipes that you can stay consistent with, so you don't feel like overwhelmed. There's so much information about, oh, add matcha and collagen. I have matcha and collagen, not making fun of anybody who actually consumes that, but a lot of these easy meals are super, super intimidating and not that easy or inexpensive at all. I just don't think it's fair to say something is super easy whenever it's not that easy to fit into your budget. It might be easy to create, sure, but if it's not easy to actually incorporate into an everyday life, for example, I'm a college student. I got things I gotta pay. I have my own apartment with my boyfriend. We've got bills. I don't think it's fair to say something is easy whenever it's just easy to put together. So this is all very budget friendly when it comes to consistency and growing that booty. The peanut butter bagel, let me get back to it. I use a plain bagel, natural peanut butter, meaning I just find a peanut butter that has peanuts and salt. Then jelly of choice. I am blessed enough to use my Uncle Jim's homemade apricot jam, however you want to say it. My Uncle Jim made jam. Oh, my Uncle Jim's jam. Anywho, so just use the jelly that you would like to use. Then you don't have to add these. This is one of those like, hemp seeds. Hemp seeds are really good. They're really high in omega-3s. They're super good for your heart. So I just drizzled those on top, and bada bing, bada boom, you got a PB&J bagel. It's so, so good, and it's almost more satiating, I've come to find, than a little peanut butter and jelly sandwich, because you got two halves of something to consume. You can put them together if you'd like, if that's your fancy, but I feel like it's just a lot more filling to me whenever I eat them in halves. Moving on to bagel number 3, the avocado protein bagel. I use by the way, this is a very intimidating picture. Again, super, super extra person, also kind of addicted to hard-boiled eggs. We have an everything or plain bagel, avocado oil, half of an avocado, and I like to use a quarter of the avocado on each bagel, so that adds up to half an avocado. So a quarter on one bagel slice and then a quarter on the other to make the whole bagel. Then you have 2 to 3 boiled eggs. That was a lot more than 2 to 3 boiled eggs. Again, I have an egg addiction. Anywho, lemon and Himalayan salt. Doesn't have to be Himalayan salt. Use the McDonald's salt packets if you want to. It just gives it a little bit of savoriness, a little bit of taste. This has been inspired by an avocado toast I used to make at the juice bar I worked at, but I kind of added my own little twist to it, so let me know if you try it out. Let me know if you enjoy it. I'll tag my socials down here. And if you're already on my Instagram or my TikTok or my Snapchat, you kind of know that I've got a bagel problem. Oh, bagels are my goals, okay? I don't have relationship goals. I have bagel goals. Goals. Number 4, strawberry peanut butter bagel. Hear me out. The first question I get asked when it comes to this bagel is, do strawberries really taste good with peanut butter? Yes, they do. They taste so good with peanut butter or almond butter. That's actually how I got started eating this stuff. I started dipping strawberries in almond butter in high school when I first started, getting into health and wellness. I'm 21 now, and then I was about 16. My parents thought it was a little fad. She'll go through. You know what my dad told me the other day? This is really, really toxic. So skip ahead if you struggle with disordered eating. I did struggle when I was younger, so I feel like I should go ahead and put like a little trigger warning here. We were out to eat. Me and my dad and my sister and my brother and my mom. And my dad looks across the table, and you know what he said? I need my coffee. He goes, yeah, we thought you kids would be fat forever. Well, Father, you fed us. You gave us the food. Anywho, to make the strawberry, I just had to confide in you guys. Thank you for being here, okay? If you haven't already, stick around, because now we know each other. Number 4, strawberry peanut butter bagel. I use a plain bagel, PB, strawberries, honey, and hemp seeds. Again, you don't have to use the hemp seeds, and you don't even have to use honey. If you are more of a maple syrup person, that would taste so, so good on top of this strawberry peanut butter bagel. And to add a little oomph, if it's the fall time when you're watching this, sometimes I forget that you can watch this at any point in your life. If it's fall when you're watching this, add some cinnamon, add some nutmeg, and replace the honey with maple. Fall bagel goals! Oh, that bagel is so good. And this was the bagel that I was telling you that I put into a little to-go container. I ate this for my pre-workout. Super, super good. We have our last recipe. Are you sad? I'm kind of sad. I like talking to you guys. But number 5 is not a bagel. Not a bagel, still very easy to make. Strawberry, peanut butter, cinnamon, waffles. Waffles, we're having waffles. They are frozen waffles. Again, I value meals that are easily constructed as well as easily purchased. So I get waffles from Kroger. They're like $2 $2 for a box of I think 12, and me and my boyfriend are obsessed with them. But I use the frozen waffles, toast them up, add peanut butter, get frozen strawberries. This is a little life hack. If you can't afford to have, which a lot of people can't, hello, do you know what a food desert is? But a lot of people can't afford to buy a bunch of fresh produce. So if you get frozen produce, you should get frozen strawberries and frozen vegetables. These are usually flash frozen to preserve them at their highest point of nutrient density. I don't know exactly how to say that, but they are most nutrient dense when they are frozen, and they maintain that nutrition value. So frozen berries, frozen vegetables, don't let anyone trick you to say they're not as good for you. They are definitely a-okay. Just look at everything that's in there. I mash, and I get a little knife. I'll put some of these frozen berries and I'll put them in a cup, and I'll microwave them for like 30 seconds, and then I get a little knife and I slice through the little cup, and then it makes it like a mash. I've noticed that using a fork isn't very easy, as it just doesn't smash as well because they're still kind of frozen. But get a knife, get a cup, squish them around, melt them up, and they make the perfect jelly. It's not Uncle Jim's jam, but it's a homemade jelly, I tell you what. Now we're going to cinnamon. Add some cinnamon, some nutmeg if you're feeling fancy, and then honey on top. You can add hemp seeds, if you have that snazzy stuff, you can go ahead and add that on top too, but I am obsessed with these. They are so easy to make. You can put the waffles in the toaster, and then you'll be able, I have a list right here. I don't know if I told you, but that's why I'm looking off to the side. You can just put them in the toaster, and then while it's toasting, you can, oh my gosh, excuse me. I had a kombucha before this. That's a little embarrassing. And I'm drinking this coffee. What is going on today? I'm sipping away, but that is one of my favorite recipes. Again, super easy, and let's just take a second to admire this satisfying drip shot. Go, honey, go. Fall off of my waffle. Make it look very aesthetic for the YouTube algorithm. Thank you. Now I want to talk to you guys a little bit about, if you're here, you probably are here because you are trying to build a big ol' onion booty. You are here because that is your goal. Again, I want to remind you that these meals are mixed with, I do need to remind you, I am going to become a student in dietetics. I begin in the fall at KSU, but I am not a registered dietitian. So I am legally and ethically not allowed to write out or provide meal plans. So if you're looking for a whole meal plan, this is Melody. She is a registered dietitian for the program I'm a part of. Follow her, just reach out to her. One of the best resources when it comes to your health and wellness goals, whether it's building muscle mass, losing fat, whatever it is, go see a registered dietitian, reach out to people, see all the information you can get, use them as resources, because that is what they're there for. I'll be there one day. Again, I'm studying to be there, but I want to discuss why some of these things work the way they do, specifically the bagels, olive oil, and eggs. These are 3 key components in building muscle mass, because number 1, the bagels. The bagels are carbs, carbohydrates. If you have been told by any trainers or any kind of online health and wellness inspiration quote site or Instagram page that carbs are bad for muscle gain, or that if you don't eat carbs, then you'll see some kind of muscle results faster if you're trying to build muscle, absolutely not true. Carbohydrates are necessary. Don't be scared of bread. Don't be scared of carbs. You need those to build a big old booty. So you gotta feed it. You gotta feed that thing. So carbohydrates are partially converted into glycogen. I'm sorry if I don't say that correctly, but into glycogen. And glycogen is a form of energy that is stored in the muscles. So carbs are so important, because when you go work out, you want to eat either carbs beforehand or carbs afterhand, because when you do those exercises, your body is going to need to bring energy from somewhere. Even after the exercise, your muscles have been used and torn, and if you did everything correctly, they're going to have little tears in them. So your body's going to find some energy to soak up. When you eat carbohydrates, that gives the muscles energy to consume outside of themselves. If you say you're trying to get lean, if you don't eat carbs, then I'm sure that you'll see more results just getting leaner pretty quick, because you're not refueling the energy cells, or the energy, I say cells like I've studied everything just yet, but you have to eat carbs if you're trying to keep the fuel from coming from your muscles. Otherwise, your body will find other sources of energy and start taking it from places like your muscles, and then you won't see any growth results. So that's why the bagels and the carbs, like just the waffles are so important. Please, please don't be scared of carbs. I know I was for a really long time, and it took me so long, easier said than done, it took me so long to stop being so fearful of them. But bagels, rice, waffles, just eat your carbs. Next, we're gonna talk about the olive oil. Olive oil, again, is high in monounsaturated fats, which they stimulate protein production for muscle growth. So you wanna have, the difference, there's like 3 fats, I think. You have saturated fats, monounsaturated fats, and then polyunsaturated fats. I know the difference between monounsaturated fats and saturated fats is monounsaturated fats have a couple less, I think, hydrogen cells or molecules in there, so they don't thicken up, or they don't, what's the word, not density. What happens when a liquid goes from a liquid to a solid? What is that called, friends? This is Dora. Solidify! Thank you, thank you, thank you. I got that. I got that, thank you. These won't solidify, monounsaturated fats won't solidify at room temperature. That's why you see like olive oil when you get out of the pantry, it's not solidified. Why is that word so hard for me? Like a coconut oil would be, per se. Last, I want to tell you guys about the eggs, the protein. Protein, we all know, is super vital. A lot of us have protein powders. I'll say right now, I'm not using any kind of protein supplements or powders. I am getting all of my protein straight from my food. I have maybe a protein shake every now and again, but I try to avoid dairy. So it's pretty difficult to avoid dairy in a lot of protein shakes. Hopefully that'll change here soon. But protein, the building blocks of protein are the amino acids, right? So amino acids help repair and maintain muscle tissue, which means muscles slightly tear during workouts, and amino acids are then put to work. So we've all talked about, you know, hypertrophy and how you're trying to get your muscles to get into that point where they do tear just a little bit. You want to make sure that there is something to go where in between the tears of the muscles. Think of it like this: if you don't eat enough protein or maybe carbs, if you don't eat the whole mixture, your muscles will tear and they will shrink back to just fill the tear itself. What you want to do is when the muscles tear, you want to eat so that when it comes back, it has a little less further to go. So you fill the gaps with whatever you're eating. I don't know what, I'm making the shape of that big old onion booty. That was a terrible gesture to do, but that's everything I have to share with you guys. I want to emphasize that just find foods that you are able to eat, find foods that you are excited to eat, and just be excited for where you're going. Because the fact that you're all thinking about this, the fact that you're even here on this video looking into this, is a sign that you are going to get a step further than somebody who just doesn't care. That's the bottom line. You care, and that alone is a lot more than a lot of people can say. You keep doing you. I'm proud of you. You keep finding resources. You keep looking into things, and if you do try any of these recipes, please let me know, because they are so good. Tag my Instagram, write it in a YouTube comment. Hey, just made this bagel, super good. I love you guys. Catch you on the flip side, and I will talk to you in my next video. Let me know if you would like some more recipe videos. This is kind of my first full recipe video, but I think it's going pretty good. So love you guys. I'll talk to you later.